Okay, so let me bring it up here. Paul, kind of take us through this video. This is the one you sent me. You sent me two. So I actually have two of Paul's. One that he has if he sees an orb. But what I found cool was he sent one. This is what a plane looks like in my same peripheral. I thought that was cool, be able to contrast. So let's start there. I believe, Paul, this is the one with the orb, right? Am I right here? Can you tell
Okay,
by
yeah.
looking at it? I'll play it a
Let's
little
see.
bit and you kind of, right? So there we see something, which that's, oh shit.
Yeah, and then you see one swing
Oh
under.
shit. See, I haven't looked at these. See, I like to give my raw reaction. That was my raw reaction. Oh shit. Another one popped in there. And then the other one
Yeah,
fades out. Oh,
it's
wow.
pretty bright
Okay. Okay.
and
Yeah,
fades out.
that's
Yeah.
damn, that is interesting. It's still kind of there. Oh yeah, it's gone. Damn, okay, that is interesting. So this is at your house, right? Am I correct in saying that?
Right, it's outside of my apartment, so I'm on my balcony on a second floor. So out there in the distance, that's probably, I would say, 2 miles out. Right there, you can see a couple of cell phone towers blinking
At the
red there at the
beginning
bottom.
there, right?
Yeah,
Got it. Got
exactly.
it. So what's over here? Like what's that above?
So pretty much it's all just spread out land. Like I live in Texas, so
Oh, you're in Texas
as
too.
you, yeah, so
Oh,
as you know,
yeah.
pretty spread out. It's kind of like over a field area, if you will.
Got it. Yeah.
And so the way this all happened was initially we were in a space one night, and I want to say there was around like 50 to 60 people in there. And the first encounter was an orb that was over the top of my apartment, which was pretty strange. And it was kind of zigzagging back and forth. And then every night after, for about 2 weeks, I started seeing these orbs further out in that open uh, land area, if you will. And yeah, I haven't been seeing them for the past 3 or 4 days, but it was every night, and even my wife had saw them with me too, a couple
She
of
has.
nights.
Okay, that I was just gonna ask if like your neighbors, if you've been like knocking on your neighbor, hey dude, come out, look at this. Every night they're coming out. I don't know. So just your wife is the only other person that has seen him with you.
Yeah, in person, and usually this is around like 12 midnight to around 3 a.m. So there's like a specific time frame.
Got it.
I have used satellite tracker, flight tracker. There's an airport nearby, so that is the reason why right there in the video you're showing, you can see an airplane as well. So,
That one that was blinking, right? Is that what you
right,
meant? Got it. Got
right.
it.
And the thing that's interesting too is I've
I
seen
mean, it does
close
look
to,
different, right? Like it does look
yeah,
considerably different.
it's a lot bigger too. If you look at the comparison of it, and as well, these things come in like 20 or 40 at a time. So I wouldn't think, that any airplanes would be coming in simultaneously. You got like three or four of them
Yeah,
all lit up at
for
the same
sure.
time. So yeah.
Is there video? Is one of the videos you sent me that has 40 of them in it?
Uh, I have probably one that has. I tried to get one with the best, some of them with the best quality. I think I have some that maybe with like two or three in it because the way these orbs kind of manifest, if you will, like in my area is like they will phase in and then they'll kind of phase out. So they'll go a good distance, back and forth, and then they'll phase out. I know with Christian and Parsi, they like to stick around a little more. So yeah,
Got it.
they're a little
Okay.
more shy, if you will.
Christian, I'm going to show yours next here. As I'm getting this one ready, Christian, do you mind just telling us what you think? Like, do you think y'all's experiences are connected? I guess I'll do the best way to ask it. So I'll let you answer that while I kind of pull yours up here.
Thanks, Patrick. Yeah,
Of course.
I would say so. And the reason why is because every time that we're speaking to one another, kind of is in a group, and the topic is NHI, or, non-human intelligence, consciousness, it seems that this is when the phenomena starts showing up the most. Um, it's always, it seems to be, it shows up the most when there's some sort of emotional growth that's happening. Seems in spaces where there's some sort of, someone's talking about, some sort of trauma that they've had and that they're kind of healing from it. Or the night that we had the major, where it was like 40 orbs showed up at one time for Parsi and myself. There was a gentleman that was in the space, was talking about one of his friends that was sick. And, kind of towards the end of it, we were like, guys, let's kind of pool our energy together, send our healing energy. And then, boom, there were orbs everywhere. I was in
Wow.
shock. Unfortunately, I can't
Wow.
record when I'm hosting a space. So, um,
Totally.
yeah, yeah. So that's kind
Parsi,
of,
did you get any of that on film? I'm just curious. I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
Patrick. I did. I got the whole 6 minutes. So for
Bam! Look at Parsi.
yeah,
He came through, y'all.
the orbs when I'm a lifelong experiencer, right? So me and my twin, we experienced the craft up close when we were 11 years old. We illustrated the craft for our mom, and ever since then, the orbs have been kind of in and out of my life. But in the last year, the phenomenon's exploded, and I think when the phenomenon marks you, it marks you for life. So it knows when you're speaking about it. This is just my humble opinion.
Sure, of
Now
course,
the
of
thing
course.
is, Christian just started this space because I think as experiencers we needed a space to be able to speak about this. Like, I'm in my mid 40s and I haven't been able to speak about it, so it really
Sure,
affects us mentally speaking. So we
sure.
started speaking on Christian space, and I think these orbs are showing up because we have the same, I think, what you call energetic resonance, that we all have this. There's no coincidences that we found each other. I mean, there's 8 billion of us in the world.
Yeah.
Now, the day that Christian's speaking about, it was a build up to that day, because they would only show maybe a few seconds of them. Then they would show me a minute, and I would have to ask permission. Can I have permission to film you? And I'd be able to speak to them telepathically. So then that day we were discussing deceased loved ones, and I was discussing a relative of mine that passed away. So we were grieving about that. And right above my head, I saw one orb manifesting. So they always manifest in and out of reality. So the point of origin was the same, but you could see them originating from the same point of origin and then flying off in different directions. And they allowed me to film over 6 minutes of those orbs. So I popped them up on my YouTube channel, and I sent you the link on a DM as well. Probably one
Got
of the
it.
last DMs.
Okay.
So
Then I bet it's the one I'm going to show. Then I bet it's one of the ones I'm going to show. Okay, good, good. No, that's yeah. Wow. Not going to lie. Maybe later you wouldn't mind sharing that story about you and your brother when you were
I
younger.
will.
That's interesting. I mean, how can you drop that bomb on me and then not tell me about that? Right? Like, hello, I got to
I
hear
can
about that,
spend
man. That
hours
is
speaking about my experiences, but I'll keep it to a minimum as long as you ask me the questions, I'll answer them. I have
sure.
nothing
No,
to
I
hide.
appreciate that. No, no, yeah, you guys have been super cool. That's what this is. We're all just talking. Everyone's just giving their
So
opinion,
this,
their experience, their personal experience. Real quick, just for people seeing, this is Christian's one of Christian's videos that he sent. So I'm going to replay that real quick. Christian, if you can mind, like maybe narrating a little bit here. Is there audio on this that I should be letting
oh, no,
play?
no. I cut out the audio just because my wife is actually in these videos as well, and we're speaking to one another. I kind of try to keep
Got it.
that.
Sure, sure.
Um,
Totally understand.
So here we are. And it's funny because every time I'm recording an orb like this right here. So if you can see, this is probably, there's a tree outside that's maybe about 40 feet high. This is maybe about 100 to 200 feet above it. This
I mean,
orb,
that thing is moving.
yeah, they come by almost every night. They do, and we have the satellite tracker as well. We also have the flight tracker 24. We check to make sure that all the, that what we're seeing isn't, registered on there. And there's there's nothing there. But they show up, right? And they kind of show off. They get bright, you know, and flicker, and then they kind of just disappear. So that's kind of what you've seen, but we get those almost every night. Even when I'm not hosting space, they're always there. And then funny enough, Parsi, 20 minutes later, will send me a message, say, "Hey man, look at what I just caught 20 minutes ago," and it's
At the
almost the
same
exact
time.
same thing. Yeah, the exact
So,
same thing.
Yeah, I mean,
So
last night I had the
sorry,
wildest.
sorry.
Sorry,
Go ahead,
go.
Parsi. Please, please. No, please.
No, last night so part of the experience of the phenomenon, part of it is helicopter surveillance, like black helicopters. And I live close to Melbourne Airport, but where my apartment is, there's no flight path. So last night at 1 a.m, I wake up and I'm like, why am I hearing a helicopter hovering over a 6-story apartment building? So something urges me to go out on the balcony at 1:30 at night. And there it was, right in the air, in the dead silent night. And it was one of the latest posts that I'd had. And I don't know if it was a drone or a UAP, so I'll put it up there for people to decide and use their discretion, because for me, I feel that these orbs, they're all different kinds. So I've seen a TR-3B craft, a black triangular craft above my apartment. I filmed that. I've seen donut-shaped crafts, so it's like a C-shaped donut. I've seen a flower-shaped craft. And then some of these orbs that we sort of bunch them together all as orbs because the phenomenon is multifaceted. Some of these orbs that really resonate, that show up, are the ones that are the spirit orbs, especially when we're speaking about family. They're the ones that show up. So sorry to interrupt. I'll let Christian.
No, I'm listening, man. I'm here. I'm just listening. I'm just
Yeah.
switching it up. You know what I mean? Different camera angles, and I don't know what I'm doing here.
So
Please continue.
the night that we were having that discussion, the person on the space was saying, you know, this other person has a terminal illness, and then I started speaking about my aunt that passed away, and then bang, all of a sudden they show up. 40, 50 of them, and I'm just like, you know, I don't know where to put my iPhone. I'm just like filming each of them going by.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
then last week I had someone, a relative of mine in the hospital. So I was out again in that same park, and I was praying.
Sorry to hear
And
that.
I'm not a religious person, but I was praying to my aunt, and I was saying, you know what, just give me a sign. I'm not out here looking for orbs or UFOs. And bang, right in front of me was this massive, like, blue-green orb, and again, it just casually flies by, manifests in and out of reality. And so the good ones. So now people always say, "Oh, you guys are doing C5 or heist, and this is all evil or demonic." That's a load of crap. Certain people that have an energetic resonance with these things will show up. Some are good, some are bad. You have to use discernment. And you'll know in your gut when they're good ones, you get the good feeling inside. But the bad ones, like the TR-3B that I saw, the black triangular craft, that left me with a ton of PTSD. The one from last night left me with a ton of PTSD. Like I couldn't sleep the whole night because it shatters your reality when you're like, is that a drone? What is that thing just sitting up in the sky? And then you start taking photographs of this thing. And then you go through all the photographs, and it's all different shapes, like it's morphing shapes. So who knows if this is like government black tech that they're surveilling us, or if it's spirit orbs? Big question mark. More questions than answers. That's why we're here, trying to break this stigma.
Sure. I mean, look, the obvious question for someone watching this, right, who may be on the fence on this topic, or but it has a pretty diverse audience. I can tell from our comments, it's all over the place, right? Like it doesn't lean really one way or the other. The obvious question would be, how do y'all know that what you're seeing is otherworldly?
Look, anyone that says they have 100% of the answers is full of shit, to be very honest with you. We all don't have the answers. That's why we're coming together, right? And you have someone say, "Oh, I know that this is an alien video, blah, blah, blah." Sorry, that's bullshit. That's why we're here, trying to ask these questions, because what is reality, right? Is reality the 9-to-5 grind that we're doing Monday to Friday, paying our bills? Or is reality something more that only certain people can see? So now, with my experiences, when I speak of the phenomenon, it's just not NHI, it's just not biologics. In all my experiences, I've come to the conclusion that it's to do with consciousness. Consciousness is the key to this whole phenomenon that manifests differently for different people. So that when the phenomenon shows up, it will manifest for you in a different way. And for me, ever since I've been speaking with Christian, I've had wild experiences. Like they'll just show up out of the blue. I'm crossing the road after work. There'll be a donut-shaped craft right above my head. And I'm like, how come nobody's seeing it? A couple of weeks ago, I went in the park and I was meditating. So I meditate for self-healing. And I asked them, and I said, how come you guys never show up in the clouds? Bang, they show up in the clouds. A big blue orb right outside the clouds. Now I'm in the park and this thing is just standing in the air. So I'm like, okay, how do I know it's otherworldly? Is when I ask, it shows up and it stays there for half an hour. So I'm filming it. I'm going crazy. I'm telling
Does it always show up when you ask?
No. So they have a mind of their own. So that's what I'm saying, is that people will go out and start doing C5, kudos to Dr. Greer for, having the balls to do his disclosure thing, but charging $3,500 for, for something that you can connect to on a divine level, that I'm not a fan of that.